Hello everyone, Hummus28 here, and welcome back to Seaopolis Submerged. So, as we left off last episode, we finally broke our way into the Nether, encountered some pretty strong resistance, but now we need to head back so we can actually progress through the next chapter. Now to do so, I was thinking we're going to need some better armor than our diving suit, and an armor set I never played with is the Mystical Agriculture armor set. Mostly because there were better options in the packs I've played, but looking at this pack, there's really not too much. Like, I don't even think we have the Quantum Suit from AE. Yeah, we do not. And if you search for helmet, they do have a variety of armor, as you can see here, like the ones from Aquaculture. There's also this other stuff from Let's Forge Pirates, which is interesting, but I think we'll just go with the Mystical Agriculture armor because of how upgradable it is. And now that we have access to the rest of the Infernium set, it should be pretty easy to do so. And then once you have your diamond armor, upgrading it is as easy as adding more Infernium gemstones and Infernium ingots, which are made from Prosperity ingots and diamonds. We are going to need a couple more diamonds, which I think we should have some ready to go, as long as we're crafting more. I think I am. If we check over here, some more diamond dust. Come over here, and we're making the diamonds. Now this is going a little bit slow, as you can see, only 5 RF per tick, which is why I love reading the comments, because they taught me that we can actually craft a device to make it go a little bit faster, and what we're looking for is the integrated parts. Integrated? And I spelled it wrong. Integral parts, not integrated. These guys double the base attributes of the machine, so instead of using 5, it'll use 10, which makes all crafting go faster. Now to make these, we just need a little bit of Invar and some gold gears, which is pretty easy to get. So now that we have our gold gear, we can go ahead and craft this guy, and then I believe you can even upgrade it, to the reinforced version for a triple multiplier, which will only take Signalum, Electrum, and Nether quartz. And now that we have access to the Nether, that'll be pretty easy to craft next. And then the resonant version takes Lumium, which is also nether-based materials, if I remember correctly. Yep, nether-based materials. So we're actually not too far off of upgrading all the machines. It was really just access to the nether that was stifling us. So now if I come over here and throw this guy inside, everything gets multiplied by 2. Holds twice as much water, holds twice as much RF, uses twice as much energy. And that means now we can actually, where is my upgrade? I actually put one in here already. These guys, so now if I use our flux linkage amplifier and combine it, we go up to 20 RF per tick, whereas if we only had the amplifier, it would only go up to 10. So you can see it's actually quite useful. This is how you're supposed to do it, I guess. Which makes sense. I was wondering like how you're supposed to make these machines a lot faster, because I was used to just upgrading the machine itself from basic to hardened and so on and so forth, but you're actually just supposed to use all these machines. Not machines, machine upgrades to make things go better. Now, I did learn you can actually put a framed 1x2 drawer next to the phytogenic insulator, so now it doesn't need the cyclical processing, it just needs a drawer. As you can see, it's set to input and output from the top. So it's going to output the essence and the seed, but then pull the seed right back in at the same time, which is really nice. It's the same setup I built over here with these other phytogenic insulators for when we start using more mystical agriculture seeds. They're just not doing anything right now because the power draw would be too big, and I didn't want to take the time to make all the seeds if we didn't have the power to support it. So now that we have all of our Infernium ingots and Infernium gemstones, we just put it all together to make the rest of our gear. And it also makes it pretty easy to upgrade later on, because as you can see, just to upgrade it to the next tier just takes the next tier of loot, which is pretty nice. Go ahead and swap this, and we're good to go. Now, Infernium gear, why do I keep adding the N? There's no N in Inferium. I need to remember that. I'm always adding letters where they don't belong. It's as strong, if not better, than diamond gear because of the augments. Now, we can't actually craft the augments yet, because if you take a look, I forget what it's called. The tinkering table takes a little bit of solium dust, which we're going to get access to after we make nether infused water and nether mulch. So we need to head back to the nether and see if we can get ourselves some items. Now we are going to need a better sword because our remnant saber is pretty good in the water since it deals double damage in the water, but we're in the nether, so we're going to need a sword that's a little bit better than that. Now I do think the bedrock sword actually does pretty good damage. Yeah, 7.5 if we actually take a look and compare it to other swords. Yeah, 7.5, diamond is 7, netherite is 8. So it's actually right in between netherite and diamond. So let's go ahead and craft this guy using 2 bedrockium ingots and a diamond. Should be a diamond in here. Just 2, we're going to need more of those. And we should be good to go. Now I also think I can place purified water in the nether and it shouldn't stop us. And we do have our apple of ascent and the nether roof, so we can actually get back out of here. Now let's see, what we're after is wither skeleton skulls, so we can slay the wither, some blaze rods, and I think that's about it. And any other loot we can find here, which shouldn't be too much stuff, but that's really all we're after. We also want to find that item that lets us get a 100% drop chance for the wither skeleton skulls, which is also pretty good. But that's going to be left up to chance. Now there's a lot of chests over there, so I think that's where we will head. And there's some skeletons. Probably want to avoid those for now. But there's a lot of chests over here, so we're actually pretty good. Oh, we found it. Nice. Quest completed. Found the item. Probably should have made a shield. Are shields in this version? Ooh, backpacks. Flint and steel. I already have a backpack, though. Can I break this down? No. So I'll leave that. Okay, we'll take out this guy over here, because I can bob and weave out of the way. And I thought I could, never mind. Huh, what is that? Common hat grab bag. A bucket. Very silly. Very silly indeed. Did I bring food? Oh wait, no, I have cooked fish. But that's nice. We have our curios. Let me go ahead and equip this. So now we always get the with. It bothers me that it has the typo, but now it works. What was that? Oh, is that a basalts? I've never actually seen them before. I've only ever used their essence. Does it have a ranged attack? I don't think it does. I think it's just these things can hit me. And they can, yeah. Really annoying. Oh, they fight each other. Interesting. Oh, that's not good. Okay, I'm gonna run over this way. Yeah, have the basalts fight them. And then I can get the rest of the drops with their skeleton skulls. Interesting. I've never actually seen a basalt before, which is really funny. I've only ever seen the item. That's cool. So it's very interesting from the, what's it called? The blaze, because instead of shooting fireballs, it kind of has like a ring of defenses. Luckily it does aggro everything by dealing damage, which is pretty nice. Or did it open this? I'm not actually sure. Oh, and there's more basalts. Now we should be able to get in here. There's a lot of chests from the right side if I remember. Yep. But all the chests are on the top with a little bit of stuff on the sides over here. Bombs. Items. I will take free stuff. Can I use these for anything else? No. Sometimes there's stuff lying on these. See, a bunch of stuff. I will take the ingots. I guess we do need nether wart. Alright, this should be the last one. And it is. Nice. Yeah, see, there are items that sometimes get placed here. Yoink. Oh, and there's an empty item frame. Interesting. But that is weird. I guess how the curio works is that it doesn't actually drop the item, it just puts it into your inventory. And gonna grab this. Never hurts to get a couple more diamonds. And it'll definitely be useful to make some potions. Now luckily, it's pretty easy to leave. We just gotta use our nether roof item to go back to the roof, and my waypoint's over there. So before I eat my apple, we just want to get back to this spot over here. So it'll teleport us right back where the warp portal is, I believe. So now if I eat this apple, it should put us next to the warp pipe. And it did not. Where are we? I mean, I think we're near it, but this is not where I want it to be. Which is really annoying, because now I have to dig out of here again. Huh. I guess I have to do it at the exact location, because it keeps putting me in these little bedrock rooms, which I don't like. Now, I did build a little bedrock room, and it should be good enough to slay the wither. In fact, this might actually be too much space, but it should be fine, because can the wither move through this little doorway? Not actually sure about that. It's a good question. Well, I guess we're gonna find out. Let's see, I do have to back up because he does explode a little bit. Okay, it's working. Nice. As you can see, he's suffocating on the bedrock roof, and there's nothing he can do about it. And there we go. He's defeated. We get the smithing template for the netherite upgrade, a wither eye, and our nether star. Pretty easy stuff. Especially when you can cheese them. Usually can't do that. Usually have to do it other ways, which involves enchanting your gear, getting a better sword. But I am not beneath cheesing the fight. So now we can craft... Oh, what is this for? Netherite pickaxe. Oh, so I guess you need 2 netherite pickaxes to craft this. Interesting. But now we can make our nether infused water. Oh, we actually need more blaze rods. Okay, 1 second. Alright. After our quick excursion to the nether, 2 more blaze rods. I definitely need to make a looting sword. At least until we can get access to the seeds for that. But now we have access to nether infused water buckets. Really expensive to craft though when you think about it, since they take a whole nether star, which is actually quite insane. But now that we have this, we can produce nether mulch, which will let us get access to solium dust, quartz dust, glowstone dust, and debris ore pieces. Now to make our nether mulch, all we have to do is place our nether infused water over some mulch with any mesh for a base 30% chance. And if we use an emerald mesh, it's 80%. Then we can strain the nether mulch with more nether infused water to produce these. Now it looks like the base is 20%, 20%, 20%, and 20%, but this is with tier 3 meshes, and if we go all the way up to tier 6, it goes up to 50-50, which is pretty good. So we're going to need a couple more strainers, and we probably have to fight 1 more wither in order to get a second bucket of nether infused water. Which isn't that difficult, because we have the curio. I just have to fight 3 more wither skeletons, so I guess we'll see which will be faster. Now, I'm going to go ahead and set up this production over here, so we have access to the back of our controller so I could pipe it in, because it should be pretty easy to automate the production of nether mulch. So all we're going to need should be everything in this hotbar right here, plus some pipes. Let me grab those. And where's my wrench? Pipe wrench. Because it should be as easy as you place down a hopper botany pot with mulch, and we actually need 2 pieces of mulch, not 1. I always forget that. Grab this. 2 pieces of mulch, so you can grow the mulch from the mulch. Then we place our strainer and our tank with nether infused water, and have this go here. Now, will this actually automatically pipe? No, so I have to have this pull, like so. So now the mulch goes in here, and then this one just goes right next to it. And have this pipe from the left. Now we just need the meshes, and that's like the entire setup. As you can see, mulch grows pretty fast, and the strainer tanks are pretty slow, so that should actually overproduce mulch. But now we just need the meshes, and we're good to go. Now, eventually I do want to get the highest tier meshes for everything, but making emeralds is really slow. But netherite should be coming up pretty soon, and with netherite, we can make netherite meshes, as you can see here. And I clicked the wrong one. Let me just type it. Netherite mesh. Because they last 2048 times and only take 5 pieces of netherite. Now they are a little bit expensive because it will take gold, netherite, and bedrockium, but we can just make the essence from the seed with supremium at some point, and that'll pretty much solve the whole issue. So let's go ahead and craft ourselves some echo thingamabobs and make some more diamonds and get the production started. So for now, we're going to use the, what are these called? The echo meshes, which are tier 5, which means with the mulch, you take a look here, with the tier 5 mesh, it's a 70% chance to make the nether mulch. Then, when it gets processed in here, and we take a look at this with, why can't, oh, you can't actually see it. So we actually need to do mulch into nether mulch in here with, and these are all tier 3, so if we look at tier 5, it's a 40% chance. So we're losing 10% by not using the next tier mesh, but as you can see at 40%, we still get a pretty strong variety of items at a pretty fast pace. Now it does seem like, why does this one go so fast? Or I guess it doesn't go fast. It's actually about the same. Oh, gotcha, I see. It's because the mulch was already building up in the botany pot, which is why this one's more full. But now, as you can see, we're producing our debris ore, glowstone, solium, and quartz. Now to actually turn the quartz back into nether quartz, we do have to run another crystallizer, which is starting to get pretty expensive, but we can also just use the dust version to make hardened glass, which is pretty nice, because we do need hardened glass to craft some of the other upgrades, as you can see here. And what is this? Alchemical extender from thermal series. What machine does this go in? Interesting. But now we have access to these, which should finish off our quests. Oh, I never grabbed the mulch. Let me grab that. And there we go. Finish off all of this. Now we just need to make nether quartz. Oh, because we never actually... Well, wait, there was glowstone. Was there no nether quartz? Weird. And then we can use 4 of this to make debris gravel ore, and then break that into what looks like netherite scrap, and continue on our merry way. Which is pretty good. So now we'll leave this running for a while to build up some resources, and then at some point we'll make the mystical agriculture seeds. Like, these strainers are nice for making a variety of items, but they're really slow. And if to scale them up, you just have to make more of them, which is kind of linear growth when I can just slap those seeds into a phytogenic insulator filled to the brim with upgrades, which would go way faster. So now that I left it run for a little while, we should be able to take all of this debris pieces, turn it into our debris gravel ore, place the ore, and grab ancient debris. Nice, you get about 1.5 per piece, which means we can make a piece of netherite pretty easily, and I think finish off the quest, because that should be... Oh wait, no, because we need a lot of netherite, right, to actually make this? Netherite ingot, like so. Throw that in there. We'll take a piece of bedrockium, 2 netherite ingots, but then to make the pickaxe... Oh, it only takes 1, never mind. We just need a smithing table. This guy goes in here, and where is my smithing templates? We can duplicate these, right? With a bunch of diamonds, yeah. Because, let's see, we're going to need 2 diamond pickaxes. Then I have to duplicate one of these. Then I have to combine all of this together to make the netherite pickaxe. And then we have to combine it to make the curio. And do we have any more netherite? We do not. So we'll need 3 more to make 1 more ingot so we can make the scrap. And luckily these templates do just drop from the wither, so it's actually not that difficult to make more, so I don't have to sacrifice so many diamonds. So let's quickly grab some more scrap if it's available. Turn this into our pieces again. The perfect number, And we'll be able to finish off our curio to make the nether bedrock breaker and ascend even further down below. As above, so below, yada yada. One more bedrockium ingot. Throw that inside. Netherite ingots, netherite nuggets, and curio crafted. Equip it. The bigger jump. And now we should have a piece of nether quartz ready to grab, and that should finish off everything in this chapter. And no, it's almost done. Barely done. Just a little bit more. Just a tiny little bit more. Come on, you're right there. Go ahead. This is so slow. There we go. Nether quartz. And we finish off the chapter. And with the chapter completed, you know what that means. It's time to descend even further. I gotta say, these warp pipes are really a lifesaver. 'Cause now I could just warp all the way down. Now it is really annoying. As you can see, there's the hole. Luckily there's no lava, but now we just have to dig our way down into the next layer, which will take like 20 minutes to dig through all the bedrock. And there we go. There's even nether particles down there. But alright, let me put away this piece of bedrock, and let's jump right in. Wait, where's I? We probably don't need any building blocks. Quest completed. The colored caves. Looks about the same from up here. And now we have to dig even more bedrock to get out of here. Now let's see, this is the block we're standing on. You can't build on it, so I'm going to dig out this one and put a torch so I know this is the block I need to be standing on when facing the south. So now I place a torch here, and now I know when I need to ascend, it's this block. Now we gotta keep digging. But now we made it into the colored caves, and what are we looking for? Find a Seaopolis colored temple, find raw mixed stone ore, mixed stone ingots, black iron ingots, and some other advanced crafting. Oh, there we go. That was easy enough. Now we could just dig through all of this stuff. Now how do we actually... Do I have my compass on me? Structure compass. Take a look here. What do we need to find? We need to find a colored temple. Oh, I probably should keep this hang glider just in case. Let's see. Colored temple. And what do we got? It's kind of just going all over the place. Oh, there we go. 583 blocks that way. Would it be easier just to go through the roof? 100%. Luckily, we can just use our money here to rebuy the thingamabob. So if you put this in here, you can actually see ascend to the roof. And okay, I'm gonna have to fix that because we're right on the edge. So we need to go 600 blocks in this direction. Should probably set a waypoint so I don't get lost. Waypoint, create waypoint, home. And let's get going. Alright, so I believe it's actually right below us, because if you see, the compass starts freaking out. Which means this is where I gotta start digging down. Just when I think we got through, there's another piece of bedrock. Who designed this? You could at least make it so with the curio, you can break bedrock a little bit faster. This doesn't take 100 seconds. I think it's like 30 seconds just to break one piece of bedrock, but it's still extremely slow. And it doesn't add anything to the experience. It's just waiting here and holding left click until you get through. Okay, there we go. I think we're finally through. Light? Where'd the light come from? Is it the blue one? That's weird. Purple. And if we check this, 115, we are getting closer. And we made it. The colored caves. Full of color, and this is the structure we were looking for. Quest completed. Now what are we looking for, and do we have to fight something? That's what I'm worried about. If we have to fight, I think we're fine. We will definitely take fall damage. So let me grab this hang glider. And there's nothing in here. Just an empty tree and the stone ore. And we got it. Huh. I was kind of thinking there was going to be more in here, but I guess that's literally it. Just the temple has mixed stone ore. And that seems to be about it. Is that really all there is? Oh, and a chest. With melon, iron, and stuff we don't really need. Pumpkin I'll take. That's about it. Is there anything else? Beetroot, more pumpkin. A mixed stone ingot, I'll take that. And that's about it, huh? And there's really not much else in here. Now it is pointing towards another one off in that direction, but how much of this will we need? Raw mixed stone, stone ingot, nugget. So I can do this to make a nugget. Then mixed stone ore, made from raw mixed stone and stone, can be used on top of a strainer to make mixed stone. Interesting. So we can use mixed stone ore with raw mixed stone to make more mixed stone ingots, and a mixed stone ingot can be turned into nuggets to make another raw mixed stone to make more. So it's an infinite loop craft. Good to know. But then to make a black iron ingot, you need mixed stone ingots and black dye. Black dye can be made from dye essence, wither roses, or ink sacs. And that's about it. Dye essence comes from dye seeds, which is prudentium and dye agglomeratic, which is just cyan, orange, pink, and lime. So really not that difficult by the looks of it. Then we'll make a black iron slate, basic component, black iron frame, a basic crafting table, luminescence, advanced component, advanced crafting table, and elite. So we're actually not too far from the end of the pack. But with that infinite craft, I don't think we'll need any more of this raw stone. Now where is my food? Now the colored caves are pretty interesting to look at. But that's really it. There's nothing in here. Which makes it kind of boring. But at least we can leave. And gotta head back this way. Actually, can't I just do this? If I just grab the nether roof one and then grab our catalog, can't I just go here, buy 2 apples of ascent, put that away, eat the apple, to take us into the nether, and we explored all the biomes, cool, then go to the roof, and then just run this way. I can. Awesome. Okay, well that's a little annoying. I ascended back to the overworld. I'm finally in the right spot, but it actually filled in the hole. So I think I'll have to dig out the hole over here now. That way it doesn't fill up again. But now we're back. Back to the base. Home sweet home. Now we can deposit all of our useless junk, being all of this stone ore and the like. And put away these. Take our raw mixed stone, and now we have the fun task of automating the production of raw mixed stone. Luckily it doesn't seem too difficult, as you could see, because it just takes colored stone and raw mixed stone to make the raw mixed stone ore. And we just need one of these actually, so we can actually just come in here and type raw mixed, and that's a U over there to make this. And finish the quest, and lightning at the same time. So now, we want to strain raw mixed stone into mixed stone ingots. It's a 100% chance, but it has to use tier 5 or higher. Then a mixed stone ingot turns into mixed stone nuggets. Then the nuggets turn into mixed stone. And mixed stone can get smelted back into an ingot. So if I'm getting this right, a piece of raw mixed stone can be smelted into an ingot. You can then take this ingot and turn it into 9 nuggets. Then you could take these 9 nuggets and make 2 raw mixed stone and complete the process. So you generate 1 extra ingot, or you generate an extra raw mixed stone throughout the entire process. But then why do you need to strain it? Wouldn't it be faster just to run this through a redstone furnace and a crafter? I think that would be faster. Because this takes 1,000 ticks, which is quite long, and also takes a strainer. I guess this one's more passive, it doesn't take any energy. And then what do we actually need this for? So, more lightning. We use the mixed stone ingots to make shrine skeleton keys, and these are used to make shrine key fragments, which are then used in elite crafting to make other stuff. Interesting. Okay, why is it so stormy? Anyways though, it should be easy enough just to automate this with a redstone furnace over a strainer. So if I make a redstone furnace... Is there no redstone furnace? What is the name of the furnace? Yeah, it's a redstone furnace. Why couldn't I see that before? That's weird. So let's quickly make one of these. One redstone furnace. And now we just also need a crafter, and I think I have, yeah, a sequential fabricator. I actually made this a long time ago, because I didn't realize the crafters were going to be able to do what I needed to do. And we could just pump this guy. They both need power, so we'll put them right here. And all we have to do to make this work is just take a couple of pipes, grab our wrench. Let's see, we don't need to hold this. Grab our wrench. Now we need raw mixed stone to get pumped out of the bottom. And then we're going to take this and turn it into nuggets. And we'll need 2 fabricators. So let me make a second one. So now if I put this guy here, connect these via pipes, set you to input on the right, and then output on the top. Set you to input on the bottom and output on the right. Then add a cable here, disconnect it here, and have you input on the left, like so. We're going to have this ingot get pulled out here. So it's going to go here. And the craft we want is this one. So we're going to do ingot into mixed stone nugget. That goes out here, into there, makes mixed stone nuggets. Now we're going to auto output into the top. Now we're going to take this to make raw mixed stone. So now it should go in there. Now it's making raw mixed stone. Now this is going to auto output back to the right in here. And why doesn't this want to go in? Raw mixed stone. Oh, I have to set this to pull back into there. And now it's a loop. It'll just run forever. So the stone ingot goes in there, gets crafted back into mixed stone, and it'll just keep going in a circle. Over and... Oh, excuse me, burped. Over and over forever until it gets completely filled up. So I'm not sure why you would ever want to do the strainer version, which just seems a lot slower and a little bit bulkier. I guess this takes power. But I mean, this will run forever and just keep making the stone for us, which is also pretty good. As you can see, it's filling up even quite fast. And this is a lot faster than a strainer, especially once I put in the upgrades to make this go like 10 times faster. But that is pretty much all of this. ready to go. There's no other work left to do here. All that's left is using it to make black iron ingots with black dye, which means I probably want to make the dye seeds so we can craft black dye, because there's no other way to get it, because we don't see any squids or anything like that. Now, at this point, I was thinking, how do we get all the colors needed to craft the dye agglomeratic needed for a dye essence seed? Cyan was easy enough. Just convert some apatite directly and step 1 is done. Pink was also pretty easy, because we can make red from beets and combine it with white from bone meal. Now green left me a little bit stumped until I remembered we can smelt sea pickles for green dye and combine that with white to make our lime dye. But orange dye didn't seem like it had an easy path. Nothing we had could make orange, and nothing we had could make yellow. But then, the hamster in my brain started running on his wheel, and I had a big brain idea. I could buy spray paint from the shop, paint some wool, and then separate the dye back out using a machine. This solved the orange dye problem. Now we put it all together, and we had our dye agglomeratic, and could now craft our dye essence seeds. Slap the seed into a phytogenic insulator, and we're done, and now any dye can be crafted. And now, with all of that completed, we can use our dye essence to make black dye. We can combine all of our mixed stone nuggets back into mixed stone ingots and dye these all black. With that, quest is completed. And now we can press these into plates or slates right over here. Into this guy, take out that, do this. To press this into our plates. And now with the plates, we can make basic components in the induction smelter using integral components and iron gears to make the basic component. Make the frame with machine frame, glass, and 6 of these, and combine it into the basic crafting table, which will be used for all sorts of stuff. I'm not actually sure. It looks like it's mostly the same thing as before, but you use it to make luminescence. Do we have gunpowder? Now that I think about it, I don't think we do. But we can craft it from a variety of items though, as you can see here. Sulfur, niter, and charcoal, also this, so it's actually not too difficult. But I think we'll leave that to next episode because that's going to require a little bit more setup. We did accomplish quite a lot. And we've almost finished off the Colored Caves chapter, which should lean in pretty much directly into shrines and the eye quest, because it's just crafting these advanced crafting tables, just so you can use the elite one, so you can actually do the big crafting, as you can see here. All really cool stuff. As you can see, we are going to have to get the essences for a couple other materials as well. But we'll leave that to the next episode and the future. But, as always, I'm your host, Hamas28, and I'll see you guys next time.